I remember for, you know, all the years I was a child, a lot of the prairie provinces, they would take their stubble at the end of the season, let it dry out, they would burn it. They were actually creating that char, allowing it to sit over winter, and over the winter it would fill up with the biology that was there and existing. In the spring it would come up and promote, it would slowly go into their soil structure. They were creating biochar, not even knowing that that's what we're calling it nowadays. They just knew that it worked. Now I don't even think they're allowed to do that anymore, unfortunately, because it was promoting a much healthier, vibrant soil. But then back in the day, we had manure spreaders where all the farmers were spreading their manure from their cattle, their sheep, their goats, etc., out into their fields and adding that fertility, adding that life that exists only in those particular manures. Because, you know, cow manure has a different biological set in it than sheep manure or goat manure or rabbit manure or chicken manure. That's where, you know, Andy and I talk, or he especially talks about a lot of, you know, different manures in your compost. Each animal has a different gut biology, just like we have a different gut biology than, say, a pig has. Same basic biologies, but it's that variety. We talk about diversity. Hey, it's we talked about the diversity of biology in the environment, in your soil structure, in our own gut biology. The more you have, the more diverse there is, then the more components, varied components can be broken out. So, say you have a grain of sand, but you don't have the biology that can break out the silica from that sand. By the use of quorum sensing in your soil biology will literally create that particular biology to mine that silica out so it can bring it to the biology for the plant, so that that cell can be developed in a healthy, vibrant manner. And of course, we get the phone call. Anyway, this is one of the things that I really recommend for people to create biochar or purchase biochar, etc., that is front loaded, that does, it is biochar. It's not just char. Okay. So even if you're purchasing what's called biochar, unless you particularly know that company or know that person that is selling it, is it's your neighbor down the road, and you know that he's filled that with the biology, I would always recommend that you take, you know, 15 days at least to put that char into a biological mix to make sure that it is fully activated. We go to a store and it says biochar, but is it? Has the biology that's been added in there died when it was packaged and shipped and stored and sealed? You know, that there's a lot of different things that can make the biology perish. So if you add in, if you take that 10 or 15 days and help to add in, or add it to a compost tea, or use like a fish brew and the end soil, um, the algae, you're going to know that it's full of biology. So trust yourself in what you're doing to make sure that that biochar is actually not just char, it's biochar, because that's what we need, is that biochar.